Welcome everybody to the 7th Northwest Blacksmith Association digital demo. Today we have Dan Bowyer. He's going to be doing a demonstration of how to forge some pause tongs from his shop in Amity, Oregon, Dan's Metal Arts. And with him today, as a special treat and a first for the digital demos, we're going to have founding member Ike Bay along to provide some historical and informational context to the forging demonstration as it happens. So we have him here as well. You'll hear him via audio from Dan's feed, but we don't have a camera for him at the moment. Just want to thank everybody for coming once again to these digital demos. They seem to be a great success, a great way to keep in contact with our members and keep things going during this time. The pause tongs that Dan is going to be forging will be available for auction. So go ahead and put your bids into the chat pane, and we will keep an eye on that and announce the winner at the end. With that, I will go ahead and turn things over to Dan and Ike. Oh, Ike is on the video there. There we go. Dan, it's all you.
Okay, we're here. We're going to do the pause tongs, and we have Ike Bay as my sidekick. We spend quite a bit of time together. We volunteered at a local museum in the Blacksmith Forge. And so he is my historian for the Northwest Blacksmith Association. Anything I want to know or do, he can find in the archives of his home and send me the notes. So I guess we will go ahead and get started. We have the up on the bulletin board, we have the dimensions we need to do. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to make these out of 1 inch by quarter flat bar. So the first thing we need to do is we got to come from the end. We're going to come 3 inches for one of our set downs. Next one, the first one is going to be 1 1/4 inches. Grab a center punch. So the tools that we're going to use for this, this is going to be our puller we put on the anvil, and we'll make these set downs with that. And then we have another little handy tool here that we've made. And, this is another one that we put in the vise that we made. So these are the simple tools it takes to make this. So I'll go ahead and get these in the forge. We should be good to go.
And for anybody coming in late, I'll just remind people, Dan Bowyer is doing a demonstration of some pause tongs today from his shop. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them either in the Q&A or in the chat pane, and we have John Huffstetter as our co-host, and he will be directing traffic in those venues.
So these are they're a fairly simple tong to make, and I like it because they're kind of along the bolt tong style, but they're not huge like a bolt tong. So if you need something big, you use your bolt tongs, but they have a little extra room in the back compared to the flat jaw tong. And I kind of like them, so I've made several pairs of them.
Hey, while you're waiting on that heat to come up, can we get another close-up of that chalkboard sketch for the dimensions that you're shooting for?
Yeah, I'll just carry that over there real quick.
And thanks for showing us those finished tongs. We're excited to see the forgings.
So that's what we're gonna that's what we're going to end up with after we do the set down. So the first set down, the second one, those define the boss. And we're going to angle the jaw down. Leave 9/16 there at the end. So I think all these drawings will be available on the website.
Oh, very nice.
So anyhow, they're fairly simple to make. You can do them totally in a forge, but I like to use the torch to bend everything so I can isolate the heats a little better. You can cool them off. I've done it both ways. I've made a set in the museum with a coal forge, and you just have to cool the pieces you don't want to bend. It just takes a little more fiddling around and finesse. It's just a lot easier with the torch. But they can be done if you don't have a torch to isolate some heats. You can do it just by cooling off the part you don't want to bend. So anyhow, there's the what we're doing.
And I think I read on the email that Claire sent out to everybody that this is not the first time pause tongs have been demonstrated in the association. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think according to Ike, they brought him out in 1989 or 88. Yeah, they brought him in 88.
We brought him out in 1988. He demoed at a conference. Basically, this is the beginning of tongs that are not made from 3/4 square or round. You know, we're going to take advantage of flat bar here to cut down the effort and still give you a very functional tool.
I think we're hot enough, so we'll go ahead. This one we're going to set down 1/4 of an inch.
We got bids up to $40 on these pause tongs, by the way.
All right.
I would like to remind people that $40 is a really good deal for a pair of tongs, especially some as nice as these are going to be. $45, here we go. From Glenn Gilmore. Oh, Lynn's bringing it up to 50.
Wow.
Still a good deal for some tongs. And if anybody has any questions for Ike about, you know, history of these tongs or this forging or anything in the association, oh, where do we get the leather apron from? People are really liking that snazzy apron you've got.
I bought it from somebody in California online, and I'd have to hunt to find out where I got it.
There's a lot of good makers out there these days.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just ranged around online to find them.
And so right now you're working on that first
Yeah,
step down?
the first step down will be I got that 1/4 of an inch, and that one's pretty close. None of this has to be perfect. We just kind of want to get some close.
And as Dan's checking notes there, I'll just remind people we did put up a little splash page on the website at blacksmith.org/donate. You can go on there, and if you want to support the association right now as we're going through these times, that's the place where you can do that. And again, the tongs are being auctioned, so That's another great way to support things right now. If not, we just want to thank everybody for being here. These have been going really well, and we're really excited to keep them going. How are things going there, Dan?
What's that?
How are things going over there?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're getting it. So the second set down is going to be 3/8 of an inch. Not quite hot enough yet. And the last video was my first one, and so Ike said he was going to watch it, so I was pretty excited about that. So I got all done, went back in the house, checked my email, and sometimes Ike's a man of few words, and so he sent an email that said, check your fly. So I thought, that's odd. I ran out in the shop, I looked all over the place, I can't find a fly anywhere. So I don't know what he was talking about. But anyhow, I've got my apron on, so I don't have to worry about my fly this time.
All right. we forgot to go over that in the pre-flight sound
That's
check.
right. That's right. But I can count on Ike for that kind of stuff.
And after this next heat, can we get a close-up on that?
Yeah, we can.
Thanks. Oh, lovely.
Those are the set downs.
Perfect.
Not quite there yet, but I'm close.
So when this, take your heat.
What's that?
I was just going to say, when this demo first happened back in 1988, did Ike say this was the first instance of tongs being made from flat stock at the NWBA? Because most times I've seen them, people are starting with round or square.
Did you hear that, Ike?
No.
Repeat the question.
Oh, we were just asking, was this kind of the first time people in the Northwest Blacksmith Association had seen tongs made from flat stock, or was it just the first time it was demoed?
Well, I think it was the first time it was demoed in NWBA, but it was the start of a trend. You know, Don Kemper and others have since done Swiss tongs. A lot of guys are making tongs now of half-inch round. Very few guys, unless absolutely necessary, are forging basic tongs from 3/4 round or square. Really cuts down on the work.
Yeah, for drawing down all those reins and everything. And Fort Wagner was asking, is that just a regular old half-inch round bar you're using to fuller those?
Yeah, it is. It's just a piece of mild steel.
Nice.
These tools are just pretty basic.
I guess the idea would be that you want to make it with tools that you could use without having to use too many tongs, because you don't have the tongs yet, because you're making them, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you can make these. Well, you got to have something to hang. You could make them with long stock and cut it off if you want, if you didn't have anything to hold the short stuff. Now we're going to do the part where we're going to make the jaw. It's supposed to be 9/16. I call that pretty close. Funky here.
And I forgot to mention it at the beginning because it hasn't been a problem in these demos yet, but I guess for thoroughness, I'll just mention it now. But this is a safe place. We try to keep things respectful and courteous at all times, kind of family friendly. Again, I'm only mentioning it for thoroughness. It has not at all been a problem with our wonderful members so far. And so you're just working on those jaws now, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of fussing around with them a little bit. Check my notes here.
Russ Smalley is asking if the notes and drawings are going to be available. I believe Dan said they would be available online when this demo is posted. Is that correct, Dan?
Yeah, I think that they will be.
Perfect. Claire, our wonderful webmaster, is saying emphatically yes. So they will definitely be posted up. And are these notes that you generated yourself, Dan, or did you take a class somewhere?
No. Somebody, I found them somewhere. So now we're going to kind of do this down here. I'm not exactly sure where he came up with the notes, and I think Claire found some on the California site, Lexus site. So you can see here, I've taken the set down here and I've just tapered it to there. And then this is going to be the part that I bend around.
Can we get a little word from Ike perhaps on those notes about maybe where, oh, wait, here we go. Patricia's saying, oh, Patricia dug them up from the archives, and they will be in the next issue of Hot Iron News with an article on the tongs and the demo.
Those notes were originally published in Hot Iron News in the 4th edition of 1988. Although Paws came out and demoed, there was not a write-up of his demo by an NWBA member. So these notes came from another abandoned affiliate club, but they're very detailed and very complete.
Lovely. So there we have it. This was a wonderful example of cooperation between two blacksmithing associations that brought us these notes.
Kind of starting to draw the reins out a little bit.
And this is when you're really glad that you're using flat stock, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I have a power hammer, so it doesn't, I guess I can take the time to do whatever, but yeah, I don't draw a lot of stock out by hand.
Wonderful. And I just want to say your camera person is doing a great job. We got a lovely little shot of you drawing that rain down on that hammer.
Yeah, if you want to do,
talk about your forge and your hammer.
Anyhow, if you want to deal with technology, you get a kid. So they definitely have it all down. Yeah, this is my Clay Spencer style hammer that I made out of scrap metal.
Oh, wow.
I made a set of combination dies. I got flat dies and I got some drawing dies, and so they switch out pretty fast. And it's pretty handy. The only thing, there's the limitations with these tire hammers is the length of throw sometimes can get you if you want to put some tooling underneath there. But other than that, it does everything I want to do. I do a lot of stuff with pipe, and it works real well with that.
We had a question about the tongs as well. Are your set down notches, do they go on the inside, like the, inside of the jaw side, or the outside of the tongs?
They go on the inside.
Inside. Mike Hayes is pining after your power hammer.
Yeah.
As I'm sure are many of us. I
I'll draw those out just a little bit more.
Those are looking lovely. For anybody who came in late, this is Dan Bowyer. He's doing a demonstration of forging some pause tongs from his shop in, is it Acadia? I'm sorry, Dan. And we are up to $60 on that demo auction, courtesy of Glenn Gilmore there. Russ Smalley was asking if you're going to maintain your original stock thickness or if you're going to allow that upset to thicken your reins up closer to about a ½ inch.
They're a little bit thicker. I could bring them down, but it kind of just, it's personal preference, I guess. I can leave them a little thicker. Those are close enough, I guess. So I'm going to cool these off, and then we'll go ahead and do the isolated heat.
And here's where you said you'd be switching over to a torch?
Yeah. I think I'll shut this off. So we're just going to hook them in here like this and just bend them on around until they're 90 degrees.
Aren't you going to put the bead in first?
Oh, that's right. I'm glad I got my partner here.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's why you pay me the big bucks.
That's right. I think I'll use the forge for that. I'll fire this back up.
Any kind of tips or tricks or cool little bits from Ike on this process while the forge is coming back up?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He doesn't seem to.
Tell him about the forge.
What's that?
Tell him about the forge.
This is my ribbon burner forge I made from the John Emmerling plans that he posted years ago. And it works pretty good. I just have a little trouble with it burning back in the tube when it gets real hot.
And did you make the burner as well?
I did. I made the burner with the crayons and all that rigmarole, and I did mine a little different style. I put the wool right next to the metal, and I put some stainless steel lugs in there for the refractory to go to, and then I put the Castellite against the wool insulation, and so it gives me a little more insulation. The Castellite does have some insulating factor in it. I used the Mizzou for the bottom, and it doesn't have any insulating, but it's a little tougher. And so And I designed it so I could lift it up and put bricks under it and put things hanging out the side, of which I've never done, but I can do it if I want.
Yeah, that kind of modular design where you can make it kind of taller if you need to, or open up
You
a side
can.
and put something real wide in.
Yeah, and if you have something oddball shaped, you can put some bricks in and leave a hole for it to come out the side. But like I say, I've never done anything other than what it's doing now. I think I'm going to make a smaller one that I use for every day. It doesn't burn as much fuel and little. So here you just kind of got to get your center as best you can.
For those following along right now, he's just using his chisel to cut a slit in those reins and start to open them up into that V that Ike was talking about to create the actual jaw tong, or the tong jaw that grips the material.
I rarely get these even, but that's just life, I guess. This is a Mark Asbury chisel I made. I've taken a couple of classes from him, and I took the tool class. So this is made out of 4140, and this is his distinctive way to hang on to them.
Can we get a close up of that on the where you hang on to it? Oh, I see. So he just put kind of like a little bit of a indentation almost.
Yeah. You make kind of an octagon thing here.
Yeah.
He's got a certain way he does them. He's got a little side thing on here for cutting side.
Oh yeah. All kinds of cool little snazzy bits about that I don't see on a usual chisel.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's his style.
Yeah, that's a talented teacher right there, Mark Asbury.
Yeah, I've taken a couple of classes from him. At the end of the video, I'll show it, but I got some fireplace tools I actually made for myself, and I did the wizard head.
Aha, there it is.
So I learned that from him. I don't have a lot of my own stuff. I usually end up selling it.
And Mike Hayes is asking about your chisel technique. It looks like you're kind of coming in at an angle instead of straight down. Can you describe that technique a little bit?
I'm off a little bit, so I'm trying to make it go back into line. So that's not a special technique other than trying to hide my mistake. I think I did okay. This one I got right on, so I'm going straight down.
Can we get a shot of that tong head after you're done with that heat there? Awesome. And then we had a question as well about your post vise, wondering about your kind of mounting system there.
Well, since I was a farmer for 40 years, that's a wheel weight from a tractor.
Oh.
Ben, point it down there.
Whoa. That thing's not moving.
So it works pretty good.
Yeah, I imagine.
Back up.
Billy, that hot cut, I believe he said was 4140.
Yeah, it's 4140.
So if I'm not correct, it should be air hardening as you work.
No, you know, the Mark Asprey way, 4140 is an oil hardening steel, but for the thin stuff, he does it in water. And so you temper it like 3 times. You heat it up to have enough heat in your heat it up and have enough heat reserve in here that you can polish it and run the straw color out 2 or 3 times. And a lot of people think that for hot work chisels, just as forge is good enough because you're going to lose the temper when you go in the hot stuff. But Mark says that at the end of the day, if you compare the two, these hold up better. And if I get it really hot, I can just retemper it, but normally I don't. But it does a really good job. And so when I take his classes, I don't question his authority. I just follow it.
It's probably a good policy.
Yeah. going to use this piece of square to kind of get this V out a little bit.
Oh, nice. Kind of spread it open up.
Yeah.
And I've seen some cases too where instead of using the corner of a piece of square stock like that, you could also maybe use some guys use the corner of the anvil as well.
Yeah, I might do that. It kind of boogers up the end of it, but I could do that too.
Oh, and Kellen was saying he's had a lot of good results with Super Quench and 4140.
Yeah, I've never tried that.
Yeah.
That's one thing that Mark Arsbury is not, is a fan of Super Quench. So I don't know why, but he's not. As my friend Ike says, when you ask him a question about why he does something, he doesn't say, that's the way my daddy taught me. I don't know, but that's the way I was taught. He gives you the technical reasons why. So, but he's not a Super Quench fan.
Any notes from Ike on Super Quench and its applications, you know, and any shortcomings thereof?
Super Quench works good on mild steel, but you're really taking some risks on tool steel. Jeffrey Funk is water cooling hammers in 4140 hammers and oil quenching cutting tool. You know, I think this is where you talk to somebody like Rhina Katie, who knows more about heat treating than almost anybody in NWBA.
Are you saying you're taking a risk when you're using tool steels because the water is too fast for most tool steels?
I think that's like what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it may not fail when you make it, but it might fail when you use it.
Right. Yeah, as a knife maker, I can tell you that a lot of times those issues that pop up in the quench, they might not be real noticeable until later.
My first instructor was Bill Baldwin, and he said, take a piece of tool steel, harden it, put it on the shelf. Don't ever touch it again and it'll crack. Might crack in an hour, might crack in 50 years, but it'll crack if you don't temper it. And tempering it right really gets the maximum benefit from the steel.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've been told that by my teachers as well, that if you quench a knife and then you wait to temper it too long, that's exactly what will happen. You can get cracks in it like that. Sometimes even overnight is enough time for that to happen.
Okay, I think that one's good.
You know, Phil never let his knife get to room temperature. He would never leave a knife overnight to temper it.
Okay, that job's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the tank, and we'll do our isolated heat.
We got Glenn Gilmore with a little blacksmith punnage for you. You don't want to use a tool that has lost its temper. That is correct.
right, we're going to call that one good enough.
So reins are done, jaws are done.
Now we're going to do our isolated heats.
Awesome. Can we get a close-up on one of those before you start doing the bends and stuff? Just so people can see what it should look like before they start putting in the, there we go. Yeah, so we can see those 2 steps, and then on that step on the end, he's gone in there and chiseled it open and then forced it open with a piece of square bar coming in on angle to force those open. Looks
and it's
wonderful.
really hard. Maybe somebody with more skill than I do, but whenever I upset these, it always gets fatter on one side than the other. And I guess if I was more skilled with a hammer, that wouldn't happen. I might have lost my index there, but we'll make it work.
And then this would probably be a good place if you had access to like a coal or coke forge as well to get that isolated heat if you didn't want to use a torch.
Yeah. Like I said, I made a set of tongs in the museum. That's all we have is a coal forge. I'm not a real good coal forge guy, so I still had to cool them down. So.
Yeah. Billy's waving the induction forge flag right now too. That's probably about the best way I can think of to get a localized heat.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe someday I'll get one, but I don't have one right now. So
right.
This is the poor man's induction forge, I guess.
And is there a specific kind of angle or something that you're going for with this bend, or just whatever is going to look good and work?
We're going to try to make it 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
Just kind of pop that on you too. And that's pretty close. We'll straighten it out if it's off at the next. For those of you that don't have one of these gas stable towels to hang your torch on, it really solves a lot of problems. It saves gas, but also, a lot of times, well, I'll set the torch over here, the next time it falls over, it burns something, or it all goes bad. Takes a lot of time to relight and adjust your torque if you shut it off. So these are really worth their weight if you can afford one. These are reasonably close. They're not as good as I'd hoped for, but we'll straighten them out on the next one. So the next heat, we're going to bend this around, and hopefully it Now for the next one, we're going to take this handy dandy little tool here. And then we're going to go ahead and warm that up and bring those into alignment.
And is that just a upsetting plate for your Hardy there?
Well, it's not, more or less it's just for a height adjustment, so we got something to get them both the same. You'll see here in a second when I put it down. So you see, that's kind of what we end up with. It makes it parallel with this.
I see. And the step of your anvil would have been too high for that.
Yeah.
So you needed something shorter. I gotcha. And while you're heating up that second jaw for that bend, can we get a little close up of that Hardy tool real quick? The adjusticator, as Rochelle is calling it.
Can you get a closer?
Not quite sticking on the top of the anvil.
And Sammy, did you see earlier when he showed his post vice base? Oh yeah, there we go. So it looks like just a plate that you attached a Hardy shank to. Is that correct?
Yeah. Just tap in.
Oh, that's a great shot.
I'll warm this one up one more time. And so the tongs that I'm gonna sell in the auction, I'll probably make another set and take time to polish them off and get them just perfect. These are come down dirty.
So now having that localized heat makes a lot of sense because you would just be mangling your tong jaws right now otherwise.
Yeah, and that's close enough. And I should hit that with a file real quick.
People are liking these tongs. We're up to 80 bucks now from Lid
Oh my
War
God.
on the.
Nope, not yet.
And what are you trying to remove right now with that?
Oh, I've got kind of a little cold shut thing going on here.
Ah, gotcha.
I'm not going to take a lot of time with that. Like I say, I'll make a better set to sell.
Oh yeah, there you go, Sammy. You can see in the bottom of the shot there, the base of that post anvil. Nice, pardon.
So anyhow, these are relatively close.
That'll make a fine pair of tongs.
So I'm just going to go ahead and center punch this. I'll probably drill the hole off camera. Be right back. So this summer, at some point, we're hoping to get Riley Kirkpatrick over to my shop because he doesn't have good enough internet at his. And if you want to see a really nice set of artistic tongs made by hand, I've seen him do it. They're really cool. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be a great demo.
Yeah, he's a very talented young guy. Ike and I have been to his shop. We have a plow fest at the museum that we belong to in April. And so he came 2 years ago, I guess, and made a set of shoes by hand in our coal forge and put them on a trap horse right next to the blacksmith shop. It was very impressive.
So now you've drilled the holes for your bolt on your tongs.
Yeah, I drilled one hole. I'm going to mark the other one now. Yeah, that might be a little bit too close. Let me move this one. Because Riley bought John Emmerling's 380-pound hammer. I'm not exactly sure what kind it was, but it's pretty impressive to watch him use that too.
Yeah, I mean, 380-pound hammer. That's getting some work done for sure. What size hole are you drilling there?
5/16.
5/16. And then are you going to use a 1/4-inch rivet?
I'll use a 5/16 rivet.
Okay, straight size.
Maybe I don't know. That's what I do. They're pretty close. These didn't turn out as well as I'd hoped, but like I say, I'll make a better set. This is another little handy tool. I bought a nice DeWalt bandsaw, made the stand for it. I got a foot thing to turn it on.
And about how much are you leaving on the other side for that upset side on the
Just probably, hope I left enough. It's supposed to be about 1.5 times.
Okay.
Need to kind of clean this up a little bit here. For speed, I'm just going to use my flat disc here. That's gonna be good enough.
And with that angle grinder there, were you just cleaning up the contacting sides of those?
Yeah, yeah. If I'd have taken a little more time forging, it wouldn't have been good. But like I say, I'm kind of doing combination speed and accuracy here. Okay, we'll go ahead and set this. We'll fire this bad boy back up. You see where I put my torch? I guess I'll use this one.
So that rivet is set now?
What's that? Yeah. I might have to adjust it a little bit.
And then what's this this next heat? You're gonna put the whole jaw, the whole tong jaws in the forge there?
Yeah, and I'm gonna line everything up. Hopefully.
And are you going for a certain jaw size, or kind of more of a versatile kind of grabby
Yeah,
tong?
I may try to size it for ½ inch, see how that goes. Probably should have lit my forge a little sooner.
Well, that's the nice thing about those ribbon burners is they come up pretty quick, right?
Yeah, once you get them hot, they maintain their heat for a while. It does take about 20 minutes to really get a good. You can start forging in about 10, but it takes about 20 minutes to get a really all the refractory getting hot.
And while it's coming up, there might be some people in the demo who don't know what a ribbon burner forge is. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, up here in the top, it's got about 10 inches of tubing, and on the back side of that is some Mizzou refractory, and you stand crayons up on end, and you put a baffle in there to distribute the air-gas mix. And so each one of those crayon-sized holes has fire coming out of it. So you got a full ribbon of fire all the way across the forge. You don't necessarily get a hot spot. And it's supposed to be, the gas is supposed to burn a lot more efficiently that way. You can come up, you can get it up to a welding heat, and you can run a little dragon's breath out of it so that you don't get a lot of scaling. I'll try this twice. Something went awry with these. I didn't do something.
Dan,
But
take your heat there, but put your vice line right about there.
we're getting closer.
Ike's swinging in again.
Yeah, I think somewhere along the line I made an error. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I made one. So I guess on live demo I'll have to own it. I don't know what I did, but anyhow, like I say, when I sell the set that goes, whoever buys them, I'll make a nice set.
Well, it sounds like Ike knows what to do. That's one of the benefits of having him there along for the ride.
That's right. That's right. But it's the old adage: if you can't take a mistake, you shouldn't be a blacksmith. I definitely am seasoned at making mistakes.
We got 90 bucks for the tongs from Fort Wagner. Thank you.
Wow. Well, this definitely will not be the stuff that's going to go out.
They are expected to be perfect, Dan.
What's that?
Nothing. Fort Wagner just giving you a little bit of guff.
Yeah.
Saying those things better be perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, I don't know.
They will. They're looking more like flat jaw tongs than pause tongs, but anyhow, I missed a step somewhere. But anyhow.
Flat jaw tongs are useful too.
What's that?
Flat jaw tongs are useful too.
Yeah. Well, and there's always a variation. This is Dan's version, I guess.
Right.
Rather embarrassing though. I should have practiced them yesterday. I came out, I don't know, a week or two ago and we made a set. I had a set of blanks on hand that I probably could have pulled out. That's what they're supposed to look like.
I mean, I would say a pair of tongs in under an hour while you're talking to people and explaining stuff at the same time. I don't think anybody here's casting any stones.
Huh, well.
Oh boy, you better eat those for your energy, for your perfect protest. You eat those when you're done with those. I'll let you have your vitamins. Yeah. Not right now. Do you want to save them for later? Okay. No, you have to eat 3 more of these. 4 more of these.
I think I'm gonna downgrade these to 3/8 or 1/4 inch.
Huh?
All right, we got to get this auction turned around. You guys are going in the wrong direction now. They're trying to bid it down now.
Hey, Dad, where's your time sign?
What's that?
Well,
Where's the clock?
they'll be perfect before they go off the deal, like I say.
Come on, help us out. Okay, come here. Eat those raspberries. I don't want to eat them. Okay, after you go, if you eat all those raspberries.
We do have a legitimate bid from Lynn Moore for $100.
Okay. Well, I will definitely have a polished up pair that I will send out.
Oh, sorry, 110. Pardon.
Wow.
I misread that.
I guess I sold the only pair I sold, I had a horse guy that I hooked me up with that I rebuilt his horse-drawn wagon for him, and he wanted to get going in blacksmithing, so I made him a forge out of a propane tank, and he wanted one set of forge tongs to get started. I said, you know, you can buy them a lot cheaper than I can make them for you, but I sold him a pair of my pause tongs for 25 bucks.
That's a pretty smoking deal. 25 bucks.
I don't know where he's at with his blacksmithing. He left the hose and regulator here, and that's been a month and a half ago, so I don't know. He might be a better
no matter where he's at, it's probably a happy place with a $25 pair of tongs.
Yeah.
I'd be happy. Poor Wagner said at that price he'd give him some vice grips.
Yeah.
Got it.
Too bad. They're coming to life.
And now this process that you're doing now, this can also be used to amend a damaged or misaligned pair of tongs as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rochelle would like to know when the $25 pair of tongs are going to be available again.
Yeah, well, I guess I just felt sorry for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you did your part to get somebody new into the trade, so that's great.
So anyhow, these are definitely far from perfect, but anyhow, that's what they look like. They really hold stuff real strong, and I'll file a cross in so we can use them both ways. But I don't know, I missed this somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where I went wrong, but I did something wrong. It should have been like that. But anyhow, they're still a very usable pair of tongs.
Oh yeah, they look wonderful.
And so, and like I say, you know, you can polish up the ends, and they definitely need a little work. But that's a pair of pause tongs.
Well, hopefully we'll have time for a quick little shop tour because I know people always love those. But before we do that, are there any questions for Dan or Ike about pause tongs or their history or use before we go into the shop tour and see all of Dan's goodies?
Are we ready?
I guess so. Yeah, it's seeming like people are okay. If questions pop up, I'll go ahead and pipe them through to you in the meantime. But yeah, let's see the shop.
Anyhow, you've seen the forge. This is my tire hammer. I think it started its life out as a riveting machine out of a World War II aircraft plant. So a friend of mine gave it to me, and it had a lot extra mass on the back for a counterweight. So I just cut these 1 3/4 plate in 6-inch squares and welded it up for my anvil. And so that was utilizing all the steel I had.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of weight down there for that anvil base.
But I mean, it had a nice thick base. Everything was there that I needed to make a power hammer. And so it worked out real well for me. And I don't have a lot of money in it. Because to buy the raw steel is very expensive for one of these.
Right. Especially that thick plate like that. So to find something that's already in the shape and dimensions that you need, that gives you a leg
Most of
up.
them are made out of 5-inch, 3/8 square tubing is what most of them are made out of, but that's not cheap either. And the problem you have is to find somebody that will cut you off, you know, 5 or 6 feet instead of buying 20 feet of it.
All right.
But anyhow, this is my latest addition. I picked up this hay button anvil from a neighbor of mine. So the corners are all beat up on it, and I weld them. I've got some special rod I weld them up with. I take the weed burner torch and I heat them up to 400 or 500 degrees, and I stitch weld them together and grind them down. And they turn out pretty nice. So that's my latest adventure. And that's, I guess I can show you, this side's pretty rough over here. I've got my antique metal lathe. I'm kind of a barnyard machinist, so to speak. And then I do about everything. I got my friend's Harley I'm working on, so I'm a mechanic also. And this is my portaband I made. That's extremely handy. So that's about it for my shop tour.
Show 'em Ben.
This is my grandson, Ben. He's our cameraman who did a great job.
Thank you so much, Ben. You did a great job on the camera. Some really good shots there. We really appreciate it. We're closing out the auction on the tongs right now. It looks like the high bid is $125 to the Fort Wagner. Well, great. Yeah, I think that is kind of wrapping up our 7th Northwest Blacksmith Association digital demo from Dan Bowyer. He did a set of pause tongs, along with Ike Bay was sitting in as well to help keep things moving along and answer questions that came up about all that stuff. Martha said she misses you, is what Leonard says.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just want to thank everybody so much for coming to another one of these. I want to remind people that not this coming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday, we will have our second fireside chat at 7 o'clock in the evening. And that's just going to be kind of we'll get more interaction from people, people talking and kind of just, having a little bit of a social hour and talking about the things that are going on with the association right now or in their lives or pretty much anything else that they want. So we'd love to see people there if they have time for that. We had a great one this last Tuesday. And keep tuning in for these. We'll have these posted up on the website pretty soon, along with the notes that Dan had included for making these pause tongs. I guess that's it. I'll go ahead and stop the recording now. And we will see everybody next time for the next demo. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you for watching.